Thank you. John?
All right, Sandra, let's bring in Florida Congressman Michael Waltz. He is a member of the bipartisan task force on the Trump assassination attempt. Congressman, good to talk to you. So how is this going to work? Will it be a series of public hearings? Will it be behind closed door depositions, combination of the two?
Well, I would expect it to be an all-of-the-above approach, John, to get to the bottom of this. I want to give Speaker Johnson real credit for really getting after this in an aggressive way, in a bipartisan way. And in my mind, it's really threefold. One, it's what I've been saying since day one and many others, that the core Trump protective detail had been, desperate for more resources, given his activity, given the threats, given the nature of who President Trump is as a candidate. There is the bucket two is what happened that day, and clearly the breakdowns that occurred between local law enforcement, the Secret Service, and the advance of the site beforehand. And then thirdly, I think there's a broader issue of resources and particularly foreign threats. For example, we know former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien had his detail pulled while there's active Iranian assassination attempts against not just President Trump, him, but a whole slew of others. So I think there's a lot for us to get to the bottom of. And meanwhile, you had Mayorkas and former Director Cheadle, saying nothing to see here.
I don't think that you can see it, but on the right-hand side of your screen, we're getting an amazing drone's eye view of the site, and that last building in the foreground, that last roof, just off to the left-hand side of that roof is where the shooter took aim. And you can kind of see from there that the view of the sniper team would have been obstructed by that one tree. But you can see the line of sight that the shooter had on the former president. Our graphic artists have also put together this animation that I want to bring up here because it gives you the shooter's exact position. There you see it in graphic form, what you just saw live via a drone. Where Trump was on the podium, there's the Secret Service sniper team number 1 on the close roof. Their view somewhat obstructed by that tree, and then the sniper team number 2 and the overall view there. The shooter appeared, Congressman, all the way along here to be one step ahead of the Secret Service. And that is either highly unusual or it's happened before, but the Secret Service just got lucky.
Well, either way, it was a significant, massive failure and breakdown. And I, for one, don't see how the shooter had multiple overseas encrypted accounts that we still don't know anything about. Reconnaissance the site multiple times in the day prior, made such an incredible shot, which would have hit, but by the grace of God, that Trump turned his head. I mean, there really is, had a remote detonator for IEDs for some type of secondary attack from a car bomb. If he did all of this on his own, which is kind of the initial, line or narrative from DHS and the Secret Service, I would be shocked. My suspicion, I don't know this, John, this is why we've got to get to the bottom of, is that he had some kind of help.
Yeah, and when you take a look at text messages from the Beaver County SWAT team who had eyes on this guy, it really paints a picture of a communication breakdown. This one sniper texts out a picture of him hanging around a building. He says, kid learning around a building. I think he meant to write lurking around the building we are in, AGR, I believe it is. I did see him with a rangefinder looking toward the stage, FYI. If you want to notify Secret Service snipers to look out, I lost sight of him. Also, a bike with backpack sitting next to it in rear of the building that was not seen earlier. He is instructed in the next text at 5:40 p.m., call it into command and have a uniform, check it out. That was almost 30 minutes before Trump took the stage and more than 30 minutes before the shots rang out. How is it that this guy, A, was not found, and B, how is it that with this alert that went out, Trump was ever allowed to get up there on the stage?
Right. So, a multi-story building that was outside of the perimeter and not fully cleared and not guarded with what the service calls post standards, which should have been, in my view, Secret Service agent And were those requested? Were they denied? Why were 12 sent to Dr. Jill's event, but only 3 from the local field office were sent to this event, given the heightened threat standard? How does the Secret Service define suspicious versus active threat? And why was there such a breakdown between local law enforcement and the communication of getting that over to the core details so that President Trump could be either prevented from going out or pulled immediately? A lot to get to the bottom of.
Yeah, and still targeting the 13th of December for the final report?
That's right. That's right. Report in December, and we'll see what legislation is needed, what reforms are clearly needed to come from that.
All right. You got a lot of work to do between now and then. Congressman, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
All right. Now this.